Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. So today I thought I would share with you a video all about some of the items that Luke and I have enjoyed having when we've traveled with little Melody. We've gone on 3 separate trips, all of which have included plane rides and longer car rides. And if you have a little one, you can understand how daunting that can kind of be, but now we've kind of had an opportunity to travel with her several times and have found some items that have really helped us and helped her to enjoy her trip a little bit longer. So without further ado, let's get on to some of the items. So the first trip we took with Melody was when she was about 3 months old. And at the time, there wasn't a whole lot that we could do to really engage her, so we relied basically on nursing for me, which meant that I had to have a nursing cover, which I've actually enjoyed having on all of our trips, even as she's no longer nursing. This was really nice to have on that first ride, just to kind of have a little bit of privacy, and that way, even when she fell asleep, there was a little bit of coverage. It was a lightweight blanket, and it was just really really nice to have. Also, in case you don't nurse and you use formula, or if you just want to pump ahead of time, I did realize that they don't include the breast milk, baby food, medicine, or anything like that in the 3-ounce rule. None of those things apply. So you can bring as much formula or as much breast milk as you want. You just have to let them know, and then they run it through a machine to make sure that it's not like radioactive or something. So basically, for her first trip when she was 3 months old, I really relied on nursing and just a lot of extra outfits, and just making sure that we were close to her and tried to hold her as much as possible. The next trip that we took with Melody was when she was about 8 months old. At this time, we were able to kind of engage her a little bit more. She could eat a few more things, so we did bring a couple of these little like applesauce squeezers, and these are really nice. They're not messy, they don't require a spoon, which is really nice, and we've really enjoyed having this. And so for that age, we did kind of start having her watch things on our phones, but she still wasn't really engaged. Luckily, it's only like a 2.5-hour flight, so it wasn't too bad. So for this last trip, Melody was about 14 months old, and as you can see, she's much more mobile, and it was a little bit, I was really nervous that she would want to get down the whole time in the plane, and she did a couple times try, but for the most part, we were able to kind of keep her occupied. And so I'm going to show you some of the things that we really enjoyed having. The first thing is an app that I found. She really likes music videos. She really likes watching like Nursery Rhyme music videos on YouTube, but I knew that I wasn't going to be able to stream those using Wi-Fi or internet on the airplane, so I was trying to find an app. So I did find an app, and it's called Little Baby Bum. It's got videos, games, and it's got like a couple other items here. The videos are the same ones that are on YouTube, so I will link their channel down below, and so you can kind of see if they are into it. But I really liked this because it came with a bunch of the songs. But the app itself, the full app, was only $3, and it came with about 25 minutes of songs, so I'll kind of just show you what it's all about. So this is one of her favorite songs, Wheels on the Bus. The wheels on the bus go round and that will keep her occupied for quite a while, so we did download that on our phones and on the iPad, so that if you don't have an iPad, it would be really nice. This is an iPad mini. I think this is only a couple $100s, and this is one of the older versions, so you could probably find this for pretty cheap. You could also find just kind of a knockoff tablet, but I really did like having this, and the case that we have for it does allow for it to stand up, which was really nice to put on the trays in front of us in the plane, and then she would just watch this. We kept it pretty quiet so that we didn't have to annoy all of our people around us, but this definitely kept her occupied for a good 20 minutes at a time, so I really liked having this. Okay, a couple of Melody's favorite things are books. She absolutely loves books, but she really loves interactive books. So books like this that have a flap for her to open, she is nuts about. She loves trying to open these up. And these books, this one's called Do Penguins Have Puppies? We also have one that says Do Sharks Eat Cake? So it's a really good book, and I will link where these are from if I can find it, but she absolutely loves these. They're short, they are easy pages for her to open, and they're not too heavy. They are kind of heavy, but they fit in a carry-on really nicely. Okay, so on to like food items that we brought with us on the plane. I kind of just went on this trip knowing that she probably wasn't going to eat the most healthy things on the plane. I really just wanted to get through the trip without any major meltdowns. So again, we brought some of these GoGo Squeezies. I also was happy to find out this is a 3.2 ounce, but these also are not included in that 3-ounce limit that they have at the TSA. Baby food, milk, medicine, anything like that does not count into that 3-ounce limit. So you can bring milk as more than 3 ounces, you can bring baby food, medicine. You just have to claim it separately, and then they'll just run it through a machine and make sure that it's okay. We brought fruit snacks. These are some of her favorites. These are the Annie's organic bunny fruit snacks. You can get these at Target. Costco sells them in a really big box, but they're nice and soft, and they're not too messy. So I really do like having these. We just brought a crap load of these with us, and she really, really liked having them. We also brought some Dum Dum suckers. This was recommended to us by somebody because they're kind of messy, but they keep her swallowing as the plane is going up and as it's landing, and that was really kind of nice. I didn't have to worry about her ears hurting her or bothering her, and in fact, the flight attendant actually gave us a couple, so they must keep them on planes, but we brought a couple of our own just to make sure. She loves these. She's actually working on one right now, but it's just that perfect size. She can't really choke on it unless she gets it off, so as long as you're kind of watching her, she does really well with them. Another thing that we brought was her little snack container here, the one that has the lid that pops off. The idea here is that they can't just dump them out, but of course Melody can get this lid off pretty easily, but she usually doesn't. I think she kind of likes holding it and getting her hand in there. The idea is that, I don't know, I guess it's not supposed to be as messy because they're supposed to be able to get their hand in, get the snacks they want, bring it out without dumping everything out. You can get these at Target. This is a Munchkin brand. We got them in a pack of 2. They're relatively cheap. These were just really nice to have traveling in the car and everything else. She could get the lid off, but it was slightly less messy than just giving her a bowl of snacks. Another snack that Melody absolutely loved on the plane, I don't have with me right now, is popcorn. So we ended up buying like a little thing of popcorn at one of the kiosks at the airport. She went nuts for it. That is a really good snack to put in one of these. You could also put the fruit snacks in here, or like cereal she did really well with. So I definitely think that these are a good idea. She just likes putting her hand right in the popcorn bag, but I really think popcorn's a good idea. It's not super messy. It can't really like go grind into anything. And so that was definitely a nice thing to have with us on the plane. And I mentioned this earlier, but I also think that this was really nice to have. This is my nursing cover. Melody really doesn't nurse anymore. I mean, rarely ever, but I did like having this just because if she fell asleep, like she did once, she fell asleep on my lap. This was really nice to have, just because it's sort of like a lightweight blanket, and then she wasn't getting light in her eyes, and so this was just a really easy and convenient way to kind of keep her covered up without it being super heavy or uncomfortably warm, because it's very thin, it's very lightweight, and then you can kind of just roll it up, and as you can see, it takes up almost no room at all. So that was really, really nice to have. Okay, so I know every airline is a little bit different, but we've flown with Spirit all 3 times now that we've gone to Dallas, just because they offer the absolute best rates possible. But they're kind of stingy with check-on bags and kind of nickel and diming everybody. But as long as you have an infant, it's included in the ticket for them to have, you can check a car seat and a stroller for them. So we didn't take advantage of the stroller option last time, but I'm so glad that we did this time. We ended up gate checking her small umbrella stroller, and she loved that thing. She loved to push it when she wasn't in it. She actually kind of would climb into it once she got tired of walking. So I was really, really happy that we brought that. So that and her car seat were 2 kind of musts that I'm glad we brought. Then, of course, sunscreen was something that we brought. I guess that kind of depends on where you're going. She has very sensitive skin, so I was really glad she didn't burn at all. And we were just applying it like constantly because I was so nervous that she was gonna burn. So that's definitely a must that I'm glad we brought. So the last thing that we brought was a camera, and this is kind of a no-brainer, but I'm so glad that we brought this. I did not bring the large camera that I'm filming on right now just because I knew it wasn't really practical. This one is small enough that it can just fit right in my pants pocket. So this is just a very old Canon PowerShot. I got this many, many years ago, but it still takes good pictures, it still takes video, and I was so glad to have this with us, so I definitely recommend bringing a small camera. Honestly, most phones are pretty good now too, but I did just like having something a little bit extra there to take pictures with. Those are all of the things that worked really well for us. I kept Melody pretty much occupied on the plane and in the car ride. We did end up taking like a 4-hour car ride once we got down to Dallas, and she did really well using a lot of these same things. So I definitely hope that if you are going to be traveling with a little one soon, that you learned something here, or maybe you got a tip on what to bring. Let me know if you have any questions, and I will talk to you next time. Bye.